We all remember that in The Phantom Menace on Naboo, Darth Maul killed Qui-Gon and proceeded to get his body chopped in half by Obi-Wan Kenobi because of his arrogance. But what if that never happened? I mean, what if Darth Maul defeated Obi-Wan? How would this change the rest of Star Wars history? This is part 2, so check out part 1 before if you haven't. After Maul lands, he looks around in the room, but he doesn't just see Anakin, he also sees Ahsoka. Then they ignite their lightsabers. Then Darth Maul said, "Just like on Naboo, where I killed Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon, the odds are never fair with you Jedi. But I will do the same with you as I did to them." Anakin gets ticked off by his mentioning of Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, and goes for an aggressive attack, which Maul dodges, and then force pushes Anakin away the same way he did Ahsoka. Then Darth Maul force chokes Ahsoka, and Anakin leaps at him, reigniting his lightsaber. And Maul, last second, blocks it. Anakin again attacks him aggressively. Then Maul says, "Use your anger to defeat me, Jedi." And then Anakin stopped, because he realized what he was doing was wrong. But before he knew what happened, he was in a dark room by himself. And while he was wondering what had happened, Maul appeared at the door, opening it and coming in. "Look who's finally awake." "Where am I? Where's Ahsoka?" "Don't worry about your little Padawan. I was not sent for her. She is probably back on Coruscant telling the Jedi what had happened. But as for you, where you are, a place for your new beginning." Before Anakin had time to wonder what he meant, he was electrocuted, and he was screaming in pain, in what felt like hours, but was only a couple minutes. When it was done, he expected to see Maul again, but he didn't. He saw an older man in a cloak. Anakin said, "Dooku?" "I am not Dooku. I am much more powerful than him. I am your new master. I know ever since you became a Jedi, you have been searching for a life more important than a normal Jedi. You want to be different because you are different, because you are the chosen one. Who are you?" "I am Darth Sidious, the Lord of the Sith, and your republic will fall in a matter of minutes. If you want to live, you will become my apprentice." "I will never join you." "Maybe this will help with your decision." Then Sidious shows Anakin a video of the Jedi Temple being burned to the ground. "Your precious order is no more, and my apprentices have seen to that. So join me, and we will rule the galaxy forever." Anakin, knowing this was his only way of surviving, and seeing how powerful the Sith Lord was, says, "I pledge my life to you, Master. From now on, you shall be called Darth Vader." "Thank you, my master. What is your bidding?" "First, I, Darth Sidious, will teach you the ways of the dark side of the Force." Then Yoda said to Mace, "Find survivors and protect them, we must." "Yes, we should." Back at the temple, they find Padme and other senators, but found no surviving Jedi. They even saw the body of Ahsoka Tano with a lightsaber wound, but they could not find Anakin anywhere. They looked at the recording, but he wasn't even at the temple. Then Yoda said, "Disturbing this is. Taking him, they might have." But he wasn't even here during the attack at all. "Went to Naboo, we sent him." Then they traveled to the planet of Naboo, and when they got there, they asked what had happened. And they told them there was a ship that came down. A person in a hood came out of that ship and jumped into the house, and there was a lot of commotion, and he left carrying a young man on his back. "Can you tell us what the man looked like, or what the hooded person was?" The young man had curly dark hair, and he had a lightsaber. Here it is. They looked at it and realized it was Anakin's. "And the hooded man?" Mace says. "All I saw, he also had a lightsaber, but he moved so fast." Then Mace and Yoda thanked the man for what he had told him, and talked to each other. "Do you think it was Maul?" "Most likely it is, but no, we do not," says Yoda. "Like to wear a hood, he does." So then they went to the house that was destroyed by the fight, and when they got there, it was exactly like the stranger said, all destroyed. Then they looked around to see if they could find anything, but all they found was a cloak. But it wasn't Anakin's cloak. They perceived it to be a Sith. They took it and looked at it, and on the outside there was an imprint of horns. "So it was Maul," says Mace. "Let's see if there was anything in the cloak." And when they looked around, they found nothing. "Blast," said Mace. "What are we going to do now? How are we going to find him?" "Sense with the Force. Meditate. Clear our minds we must." Then they meditated for a couple hours, and they decided to check out the Jedi Temple for recordings again. So after they looked, they saw Palpatine killing Jedi with a red lightsaber. Maul was as well, and Count Dooku. But again, they saw no Anakin. They watched and listened to what they had said, and Maul said, "Master, I will go back and to see if he is awake." "I will join you when I am finished," Sidious said. "So, the Dark Lord of the Sith, Palpatine, is trained the Zabrak he did, He was right under our noses the entire time, playing both sides of the war. Very disturbing it is. But we need to find Anakin, so follow Darth Maul we must." Then they saw Maul leaving the building and flying in a ship, but instead of leaving the planet, he just flew straight. As Maul's ship went into view, Mace and Yoda left and traveled the same way Maul did, but they did not know where they were going. So Yoda started meditating, trying to feel Anakin or the Sith with the Force, but as he was feeling something, they were getting shot at. As Mace drives, Yoda was blocking any shots that get near, but instead of running away, they were actually going straight for the attacker. When they reached him, they quickly disarmed him, and Mace, using a mind trick, said, "Tell me where your master is." "They are in that building, right there. Now please let me go." "Yes, we shall. We shall let you go. Now leave." A day earlier, "Maul, we are going into the temple and destroy everyone there, but remember, we are to tell the Jedi that Anakin is still alive, that we may trap them." After this had happened, Palpatine hired a bounty hunter to spy on the Jedi, for if they got close to the building, to get their attention, and when they asked, give up their location so the Sith may ambush them. But this was unknown to the Jedi, who were about to walk into a trap. But the Jedi arrived earlier than they had expected. They saw Anakin and immediately untied him. The Sith had meant to ambush them before this happened, but Maul wanted to fight and kill Anakin, so he let his jealousy blind him and allowed the Jedi to let Anakin escape. When Maul jumped down from above, igniting his lightsaber. As a crackling laugh and two other red lightsabers ignited, Yoda and Mace ignited their lightsabers, and Mace said, "Ignite yours, Skywalker." "I don't have it." "Oh yeah, I do." Then Mace threw the lightsaber to him, and he ignited his lightsaber. As the door shuts behind them, and the entrance is blocked, the Jedi are pushed into a wall, with 3 Sith closing around them. "I have been waiting for this," says Palpatine. "My old master, what an honor it would be to best you," says Dooku. "Oh, I just love the smell of fear," says Maul. As the battle commences, Palpatine and Yoda fight as Dooku and Mace duke it out, as Maul and Anakin jump around, dodging each other's attacks. Anakin was getting weaker and weaker by the second, as Maul was only growing stronger. Mace, seeing this, pushes Dooku out of the way, and then jumps for Maul, as Maul turns to walk. Once Dooku regains his balance, he sends a flurry of lightning at Mace, electrocuting him, as Maul slices his head off. Anakin, in his rage, jumps on Maul and stabs him through the back. With both Maul and Mace dead, Anakin was put up against Dooku, and Anakin had the upper hand this time, using his hatred of Dooku, helping in the murder of Mace Windu. Anakin was attacking fast and strong, and was overpowering Dooku as he disarmed him by cutting off his hands. Then, with both of their lightsabers in his hands, cutting off his head. Then he goes to help Yoda as him and Palpatine are in a deadlock. Palpatine shoots lightning at Anakin, which is a direct hit, stunning Anakin, and Palpatine rushes over to him to stab him and kill him as Yoda blocks it from behind. Re-entering their duel, as Anakin is starting to wake up, he sees a green and red blur until it just stops. And he hears laughing and a yelp as Yoda is flung across the room to Anakin. And as Anakin holds the body of his master, Yoda, in his final breath, tells Anakin, "Do or do not. There is no try. Defeat the Sith and fulfill your prophecy." As it trails off, Anakin is overwhelmed with emotions as he looks up angrily, and Palpatine is frightened by his face. As he stands up, he ignites his lightsaber, and in a flurry of rage, starts speeding up his strikes, and the Emperor is barely able to keep up, until it seems like Anakin becomes the embodiment of the Force itself. Palpatine tried everything he could. He used a Force push, and Anakin blocked it, and then his lightning, and it blasts right back in his face. Anakin, pinning him to the ground, says, "Any last words, Emperor?" He shoots another flurry of lightning at Anakin, as Anakin uses the Force to block it. Anakin deactivates his lightsaber, and curls up his hand, and Palpatine can feel his lungs close up, and then his throat close, as he is lifted up into the air as Anakin says, "Your reign of darkness is over, Emperor, and now the light will shine once again." As Palpatine draws his last breath, Anakin releases his lifeless body to the ground. The surviving members of the Republic rebuild it, and Anakin becomes a father, marrying Padme and creating a new Jedi Order. The perfect Force users, using the best of the light and the dark, but still staying in the light side of the Force. As Luke and Leia become very powerful Jedi, the universe is safer than it ever was before, abolishing slavery in the Outer Rim, just as Anakin told his mother he would do, and they would do the same for the generations to come. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and if you like Star Wars content, check out my shorts. I post daily there, and as always, thanks for watching, and have a great day.